As we talk today, the U.S. economy is maybe soft a little bit. It's not going to grow at the rates that we would all like, and maybe we're actually going to go into recession at some point. Inflation's high. How does that affect your business?
Well, it affects every business. The problem that we all have had, those who invest in public securities opposed to private ones, is that unless you were in 12 or 14 stocks, it was really hard to keep pace with the S&P over the last 5 or 6 years. It was ridiculous. All of the gains came in that dozen or so stocks. Today, I think there is a reversal. I think even though we're going to be in a recession, I think cash flow, stability, good quality companies, when this is all over, are going to be valued once again. And those are the kind of companies that we invest in. They're boring companies. They're really wonderful companies that generate cash, just need to be treated properly and have a good plan. And those are the companies we like.
Now, years ago, I'd say in the 1970s and 1980s, if you were trying to change a company from the outside, people said, well, you're a raider, you're an activist, you're not good for America, and just let the board run the company the way the CEO wants to do it. And for that reason, a lot of institutional investors never would invest with people that were trying to do what you were trying to do now. How has the world changed? Because now you have institutional investors, many big public pension funds, I assume. Why are they now so happy with what you do as opposed to 25 years ago or so where they said, we don't want that kind of approach?
Because they want their portfolios to perform, and their portfolios haven't performed. You know, the first quarter this year, and I don't mean to pick on private equity, the S&P was down dramatically, and one of the private equity firms, not yours, so I'm not, so
okay,
you're
that's okay.
Free and clear, reported that their portfolios had a rough quarter and they were up 2.8%. Now, 2.8% versus the S&P in the first quarter don't even look like one another, okay? But some of these investors and some of these institutions are happy with that because they can report what happened and they'll put that up 2.8% versus their public equities portfolio. At a certain point in time, that's got to change, okay? But I think what people don't understand is that we are making their portfolios better. Okay, we are making mega cap stocks. Nobody is going to buy P&G. Nobody is going to buy Unilever. Okay, so there are only a few people who can have an impact on a company like that and have that, which is probably, those stocks are probably in 50% of pension fund portfolios. And that's what we need to do.